What's going on, everybody? What's going on? We are live, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forster, and I'm super excited. I just kind of jumped off from TikTok. Should have a lot of my TikTok people coming over. But again, welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forster, and as always, I'm super excited. And my job is by the time that we leave here today, you have a clear understanding of what is an independent living facility, how do you run it, and how in the world can we do this and then not require a license. So most people join us here because you love God, you love people, and you've been trying to get into real estate. Lucky for you, God has meshed your prayer and my prayer together, because I pray every day that God allows us to meet good people just like y'all to teach this model to, so that we can all take people from homeless to hopeful. So my people that are completely new to me, you guys don't know this, but many years ago, man, God allowed me to see a lady that was literally living my dream, y'all, right? My dream was to help people get into real estate, right? But I didn't know that the route to that would have came from my job. So many years ago, guys, over 7 years ago, I used to be a social worker, barely making ends meet. And literally now what I do is tell people my whole life experience and how I did it the wrong way and how people refuse to teach it to me. And now today, how I go all over the world sharing this, guys. And I promise God, I say, God, if you let me get into this, I'll never take any credit. And I'll tell people it's because of you. So watch me do that right now. Most of y'all gonna hear me for a few minutes and you're gonna think that I'm a preacher or a pastor or a bishop. And guys, I'm none of that stuff. I'm not a pastor. I'm no bishop and I'm no preacher, but I do love God. I love people and I love real estate. And God was so genius, y'all. He allowed me to merge it all together. So again, without further ado, I got a lot of stuff that I'm going to bring up tonight. I'm also going to bring my wife on stage who does the exact same thing I do, but from a nonprofit standpoint. Shay is actually doing this from a nonprofit to build a course for people that want to do this as a nonprofit, because I'll admit I'm good at not talking about what I don't do. And I don't do nonprofit. Now I can teach you how to do this because I don't care what entity you get. Running it is the same. But the entity, I'll admit, that is not my game. That's my wife. Are y'all ready for Miss Shay? Without further ado, guys, my better half, Miss Shay Forster. What's going on, cutie pie? And until Shay come on, guys, just in case for my new people, an independent living facility, guys, is a residence model where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So these are not group homes. These are not ALFs. These are not IDDs. These are none of that stuff that requires a license to operate. Does that make sense, everybody? We've all heard of a group home. We all have heard of an ALF. That stuff requires oversight. You got to hire staff. Guys, this model does not require staff and no state oversight. But this is where I was, just like most of y'all, praying to God to change your life, praying God to change your financial situation, telling God you want to help people. This was also me as that social worker many years ago. Oh, there go that beautiful girl. Shay, let's try it now. Can we hear you loud and clear now, Miss Shay?
Can you hear me? So first and foremost, good evening, everybody. I am Shanya Shea Forston. And you see that I'm not in the same space. For those of you that know that Derek and I usually broadcast in the same location, I'm actually in the studio. I'm actually in a different area, recording.
She's in the studio.
I'm in the studio. Yeah, I'm literally in the studio. I've been prepping all day and starting the foundational aspects of the nonprofit course. So I'm Shanya Shea Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, as well as a consultant here at Forston Consultants, where I teach and talk about all things nonprofit. Derek has kind of pushed me out of the boat and told me, all right, let's go. Let's get this course up and running. So I am working on this course. For those of you that are interested, please go ahead and stay tuned. Follow me at Angela Denise Foundation on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, so that you all can make a conscious decision to know before you go nonprofit. Again, I am super excited to do this. A lot of people don't know that there is so much strategic planning and information that you should be aware of before you go into that space or venture into becoming a nonprofit organization. So that is what I'm going to be talking about in that course. Well, ultimately, again, I am the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, and I have the same program. I have a program that is the ILF, housing. So in my nonprofit, that is one of the programs that we operate, and that is a housing piece. No different from what Derek does, no different from any of the other ILF owners and operators. But what it does is it allows me to get donations, apply for grants. It allows me to partner with other community programs, other community funded programs, and create other or new initiatives. So I'm excited about the course, super excited. I tend to be an overthinker sometimes. So of course, a few people in our inner circle will get to sample the course before it goes out live, to make sure that, I'm hitting all of the key points that everybody needs to know and needs to understand to, before they go nonprofit. So like I said, nothing's different from the way I provide my housing. The only thing that is different in what I do is the structure of my organization, or of the organization. And that's pretty much the fundamental difference, right? I can do different things that Derek can't do. I can interact and engage with some organizations that may want to utilize housing through a nonprofit more than a for-profit entity. So, but for the most part, it's not really much different. We still work with the same companies. We still do the same things. My structure, the way I function as an ILF owner and operator is completely the same. All of my documentation is the same. My intake process is exactly the same. My, everything is the same. Like, the only thing that is different is that I have other programs that are funded by donors and grants and other things like that help me to to get the word out even further. So I'm excited about it. I've been working hard today. I got the initial portions done. Module 1 is completed. This is about an 8 to 10 module course. With, like I said, with some surprises that I have up my sleeve to introduce you all to how I do business, or how my nonprofit operates and functions, and even some of the key features and the key attributes and key players in my nonprofit help me to navigate my nonprofit space. I'm excited about it.
And looks like Mr. Chris are the only ones that stated going nonprofit may be an option. So maybe the other people kind of heard me on my soapbox talking about, don't worry about that nonprofit, right? So might as well do it on the other side. How many of y'all are like me? And you just said, Derek, I'm going to get an LLC, bro. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy, and I can control all the money. Because usually we have 10 to 15 people that say nonprofit. So for the people that's newer to us, I always give the advice of, why not start the LLC first? It's
right, quicker, like Dr. Nabia has a nonprofit already. Quicker,
faster, more affordable. And again, I can handle and deal with the money and the finances any way I choose. With the nonprofit, it's more expensive to start it. You got to have a board. You got to have meetings. You got to write minutes. You need bylaws. And Shay can't spend her money just willy-nilly like I can. No, I can make money in my ILF and go throw a party the next day in New Mexico on a yacht. Shay got to get permission from people. So it's more, and I love when Shay says this, it's more community driven. Shay always amazes people when she say this phrase, you don't own that nonprofit. And a lot of people don't know that. I'll never forget when Shay said that one night live years ago. I was like, what do you mean, Shay? We don't own that. Didn't I pay for it? No. So Shay gonna talk about that today. So right now, if you haven't already, if you desire a nonprofit, why not build it in the background? Let's get an LLC now. We can build the nonprofit in the background as we go along, because it's going to take longer. It costs more. And what I'm really good at is when I'm teaching people, what's the fastest route to getting started without you getting frustrated or putting too much thought in it? Procrastination. Yeah. Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God will give you more time for something he's already told you to do. And for most of y'all, God told y'all to get into something just like this. You just didn't know how to do it. Congratulations, because my prayer and your prayer merged together today, because we pray for great, like-minded people that want to help in your city, that want to leave your job if you see fit. I coach a lot of people that are just like me. Derek, I want to leave my job. Now, I asked on TikTok earlier, how many of y'all got a great job that don't bother you? They don't get on your nerves. It's not frustrating. You go when you want to, you leave when you get ready. You need to keep your job, and I'm going to teach you how to double up until it's time to go. But boy, if you anything like me many years ago, you said, man, you know what? I can make a bigger impact. I can make a bigger income if I leave this dadgum job. That was me. Guys, I was making $28,000 a year. And God allowed me to see a lady living my dream making $41,000 a month. Can you imagine making 41 grand a month? But here go your brother again, social worker, got a little jacket on today, right? Here I go again in my office praying that God change my life, praying that God get me into real estate, praying that God allow me to help people. And God was like, Derek, you dummy, wake up. Everything you asking me for, Derek, I already gave it to you. So you want to help people? So really quickly, one more time, my story started like this, right? I saw the rats and the roaches. I saw a lady making 41 grand a month doing this, y'all. And when I walked into it, I was like, oh my God. I can't believe what I'm looking at. Can you see that burnt up kitchen? This is a house that people were living in, y'all. And I jokingly always say this every time I show this. But if you're not wearing your glasses tonight, guys, those are cinder blocks holding that bed up. The devil is a liar that you're going to walk into my hospital with your red bottom shoes on and all the great materialistic things that let people know that you're doing well in life. Meaning driving up to my hospital in your Mercedes Benz and in your Escalade. But how can you house people like this making 41 grand a month? How can you make 41 grand a month and house people in conditions like this? The rats, the roaches, where nobody does dishes in the house. There's no rules. Just throw the trash wherever you want to. How can you make 41 grand a month in conditions like this? When I saw this lady right here sleeping on the kitchen stove, in front of the kitchen stove. Y'all know that drawer that's at the bottom when you pull it out and you got your muffin pans and your cake pans in it? Guys, when you pull that drawer out and when roaches were running all out of it, that's why I saw a young lady sleep. As a social worker, guys, the Gray family, I never saw the inside of a group home or a housing program or an ALF until I got the vision to do it. And when people refuse to teach me, I said, man, I got to at least go and see what it looked like. I need a starting point. But I watched the lady make $41,000 a month, and not from what she just kind of said. Y'all, she showed me. But y'all, the lady that was sleeping in front of the kitchen stove, I sent her there. Unbeknownst to me, but when people refused to teach it, I took a Saturday and I said, let me go and see what it looked like. And this is the kind of stuff that I ran into. So to make a long story short, we don't do it like that. Today, we've turned that into this. And just like my wife told you, we don't care what entity you get, nonprofit, for-profit, C Corp, S Corp, that ain't even important right now. The important part is, do you have a heart for people? Do you want to do God's will and not have to be a preacher or a dadgum bishop to do so? Guys, I am no different from my pastor at my church. We both got a ministry. I'm not a perfect human being, but I love God. I love people. And real estate has allowed me to do God's will about meshing it all together. You've heard from me say that you don't have to own the property to do this. You can rent it or you can lease it. I'm going to work with social workers and case managers as my funnel system to fill these beds.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to take 1,000 questions. But Shay, I'm going to give it to you.
I want to go in with Dr. Nabia. She has both a for-profit and a nonprofit, and that's awesome. I tell people all the time, and I see that she's looking to, boost the income to get her ILF operational. The advice that I would give you from the nonprofit standpoint is start doing some fundraising. Maybe don't separate the ILF from the nonprofit and start promoting it from that avenue. And then building some donors, some campaigns, some donation drives. I tell people the easiest way to start getting funds in, and I'm sure she knows this, but just for the clarity of the whole live, is start going to those community-based organizations like Walmart, Costco, all of those different programs, and tell them write your vision. Have your vision, start implementing that as a program. And that's a way to generate income to start getting your ILFs up and running. When I first started, that's exactly what I did. I went and I told people that I knew, and I asked them to make donations, make a contribution. So Doc, make sure you're utilizing that 501c3. Let that be the thing that helps promote and propel your housing aspect of things, right? A lot of people fall asleep when they have a nonprofit. So go online, find those fundraising avenues and put it behind your program, which is the housing, the ILF. Make the ILF your next program in your nonprofit and start soliciting for that program. And that's one of the ways that I'm going to be very honest that I was able to even acquire this property. The property that we purchased, it was conversation, and that's not something that you can technically get a grant for unless you're doing commercial real estate, and then it's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into that. But because of the way we did this, we were able to acquire partners that were willing to donate to the actual housing program, and that's what we did. So use your nonprofit, use it. You got it, use it, utilize it. You know, the whole goal is to make sure that we're giving you guys good, sound advice on how you can make it to the next steps, right? It's not always about a loan. You have that 501c3, start getting people attached to the vision and the mission, and then start drawing from that pool of people that are showing interest, right? Set capstones, set goals to say, this is what I'm looking to fundraise. Walmart grants, your Target grants, your Costco, all of those places have a lot of funds that is available. Even look at your local banks. What a lot of people don't know is a 501c3 banks are required legally to donate into nonprofit organizations. So write a good letter of intent and let them understand what you're doing and what you're building. Show them the framework, write the vision, make it plain, be able to provide that information in one of your, to those organizations, and let them know that this is the plan that you're putting forth and the efforts. Make sure you have in those documents, and I'm literally going very deep on nonprofit. Make sure that you, in your process of creating this grant, that you put in, the expected number of people you want to house, the expected possible, the cost of overhead. What does the rent look like? What does utilities look like? Estimate all of that stuff so you have a budget that you can also submit. A grant application or a letter of intent without a budget is going to get you nowhere. They want to see that you've done the work, you've put the math together, and that you know exactly what you're looking for and how you'll structure it. They'll also ask for you, how do you know it's successful? Put in there what you're going to do to monitor the success rate of your housing program, whether it's minimizing recidivism in the client or the residence base, or making sure that they don't end up back into a Baker Act, or whatever population you're looking to house, kind of formulate it around that. Okay. And that way you can kind of just build out all of the pieces. And I hope that helps.
Great information. Absolutely great information. Don't just come and listen to this great information, but also get your questions answered while you're here. Also, I got a free gift for all of y'all, right? So if you've never received our free gift, if you text the word new, just NEW, that's it, nothing else. Not your name, not your nickname, not I'm new here from Michigan, because my system is actually automated. So if you text anything else, it won't work. But if you just text the word new to 407-326-0086, that'll give you not only both of our webinars, but a free gift that's called ILF 101. That course used to be $1,000, y'all, because it also had a phone call attached to it with me. But I give you over 15 videos that you must watch before even considering this. And because I don't want you to go through the $40,000 lawsuit like me, and because I don't want you on the Channel 8 news like me, unless they're celebrating you, I don't want you on the Channel 8 news, guys. Okay? So I'm going to give you for free the ILF Mastery 101. It's called ILF 101. And if you text the word new, NEW, to 407-326-0086, we'll be right back after commercial break. Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. consider our ILF Master Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Man, you guys have a lot of choices of where you could be on these internet streets, and we truly appreciate that we were a choice. Because what I love about people that usually find us, y'all are just like us. Y'all love God, y'all love people, and you're trying to get into real estate. Or a lot of you guys are in real estate, but maybe you rent to a mom, dad, and 3 kids. That's one income. Guys, we take that one asset and rent to multiple people. So for us, it's just like multifamily. How many of you guys ever dreamed of being a multifamily? So did I. But I found out that if I go and just rent or lease, Mr. Tony, Mr. Chris, a 4-bed, 2-bath home, I can take 8 people from homeless to hopeful. Does that make sense, everybody? So we're going to jump into the model. But just keep in mind, I got a buddy of mine that owns an 8-unit building. He went and bought that multifamily. Guys, I make more money than he does, and I make a bigger impact in my community. Watch this. He owns an 8-unit building housing 8 families. I lease or rent a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, and I'm taking 8 people from homeless to hopeful. So again, many years ago, as I told y'all, when I was trying to get into this, when people hid it from me, and when I saw the lady sleeping in front of the kitchen stove, y'all, it took me 2 years. I lost 60 pounds trying to figure this thing out. But boy, when we got it down the right way, this is the way that we make it look today. So that's why I tell people this really isn't rocket science, guys, in terms of the concept of it. Now, the coaching, you need some good coaching. Somebody said a question was, how do we get these tenants to move in such a nice place? Believe it or not, ma'am, congratulations to you. That's one of the easier parts of what we do. Getting the tenants is the easy part. Watch me be real honest. And I see a lot of y'all responding in that chat. The hardest part about what we do, y'all, is getting the real estate to do it in. I teach a model that says pretty much, I don't care what you do it in, but it just can't have roaches. It can't have rats in it. We're not going to have people living in squalor. And this new way that we're doing it, because most of us do this out of a brick and mortar house. But what if we can go and get one of these and do it in? How many of y'all had a dream to get into mobile homes? I've been talking about this for 5 years, y'all, but I still always get a brick and mortar house. But guess what I'm on the lookout for now? Why can't we get something like this and rehab it and make it look better? Because again, I'm not too particular on what the outside look like. I want the inside to be a safe, clean, living environment that looks something just like this stuff. I don't get so caught up on the outside, but I do love the mobile home and the manufacturer model. So Shay, let me ask you as a lady and as a nonprofit, Shay, are you all caught up in what the outside is? Because I know you a little bougie shit, and I'm gonna show them your house. But Shay, when you talk about taking people from homeless to hopeful, does the outside kind of matter?
So it doesn't matter, but it's something that we'll work on to improve, right? I tell people all the time, my goal is I want people to walk up, or I want the residents that I house to walk up and feel like they're in a safe, comfortable living environment. So if the outside gives me the EBGBs a little bit, I will, before allowing anybody to assess or access the property, I will do some cosmetic stuff if I can. The whole goal is to reformat the mindset. And that's why I say it's not necessary, but for me, I wouldn't be a little bougie. I would just make sure that it is aesthetically pleasing, right? And that doesn't take much. A lot of times it doesn't take much. It's just picking up some garbage. I'm not walking them to this place. It's not gonna happen.
This is where Shay and I are a little bit different, y'all. Now, obviously, they're not going to live in it like this.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
The guys, don't you know that they'll give you these for free? I found this out about 3 months ago as I've been on my journey of buying and purchasing a mobile home. Guys, if you go to a park sometimes, they'll give you this one for free because they just want you to fix it back up, because the park's main goal is to collect lot rent. So as we always say, man, don't wait to be great. We love you guys. And as we'll close out, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh.